Watch the entire video, my lovely viewers, I mean from start to finish, to get the whole thing. Without wasting much of your time, let's get right into it.
This is DJ Mutati exclusive.
Hi lovely viewers, it's me again, your one and only Mutati Mpundu. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time on my channel, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel by hitting the subscribe button down below. Turn the bell icon to join the notification squad. Don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment. Tell me what you think about this video in the comment section below. I'll be super glad to hear from you lovely viewers.
Africa. Now, the rumors go as far as talking about the last time he made a public appearance. We get clarification on this as we speak with the Patriotic Front Chairman for Information and Publicity in Mr. Emmanuel Mwamba. Good morning to you, Mr. Mwamba.
Thank you very much. Good morning, and good morning to your dear audience.
All right. Well, good morning. Mr. Mwamba, with this conversation and some of the words going around on the health of the former president, Edgar Lungu, what exactly is the status of his health? And as there are these rumors that he is critically ill.
Yeah. It's 23 hours where I am here in the US, and it's about 7 hours, I think. Is it 8 hours in Johannesburg? I've just spoken to the former president, and you are aware that he just went for medical review. He hasn't been for his medical review since 2022. He attempted to go for his medical review at end of 2022. He was denied an opportunity 2023 and 2024. So he was only allowed to go, just this last December. So the president is very well. He's undergoing medical review. It's just his scheduled medical review and a medical checkup. He's not in hospital. He's not admitted to hospital. He's at some private apartment, and I think he has been undergoing his own medical review. The rumor world by the UPND, who, by the way, don't want us to discuss the health of their president, are baseless, they are not founded, and are just meant and designed to alarm the country and to alarm our members. The members and the nation can take it from me that the president went for medical review, and the medical review is going on very well, and he must be, I think, concluding his medical review, and he'll be returning back home. He's not admitted to hospital. He's not admitted in any health facility.
Right.
He's doing
now,
his
Mr. Mwamba, do you
review.
expect us to just believe that the president is doing, the former president is doing well, that is okay? You're questioning how the UPND also tried to shield the rumors around President Hakainde Hichilema not being well. When do we expect to see the former president back in the country?
Very, very soon. But when I spoke to him, he says he was doing medical tests the other 2 weeks and evaluation, and he should be done with his medical review by next week. Then we'll inform the country when he can come back. And remember, he's never taken holiday. He's never taken holiday since 2021. So also this is working out like a holiday for him, medical review and holiday. And he should be back in the country as soon as is practicable.
Now, speaking of holidaying, some would feel that maybe it should indicate that he maybe needs to rest after having all this activity, political activity that he has had. But he continues to remain really active. Don't you think that it's valid when people are concerned and they start advising that perhaps it's time for the former president to just rest?
That it's time for the president to retire. Is that what you said?
Yes, retire and rest.
Oh, okay. The age difference between President Hakainde Hichilema and President Edgar Lungu is not far. So are you also telling me that President Hakainde Hichilema it's time for him to rest? Is that what you're telling me? I think there's a 2 or 3 year difference between them. So for me, I wouldn't like anyone's political right, civil right to be taken away by forcing them into retirement. The former president had voluntarily proceeded into retirement until second. Sorry, I received the call on the phone. Until he's allowed to make his own decisions to retire, he should not be forced into retirement whatsoever. So I think the demand by people that look, because he has gone for his medical review and is on holiday, therefore he should retire, is unfair. That's why I've contrasted it with President Hakainde Hichilema that, look, these are literally age mates. So are you saying that President Hakainde Hichilema should retire?
Well, one is coming from a very busy office while the other is just entering a busy office. I think maybe the comparison's a little different there. Let's bring it to this on another issue, Mr. Mwamba. The UN rapporteur's report has been quite topical in the sense that during your time in government, as the Patriotic Front was widely accused of suppressing freedom of expression through media shutdowns, you can see harassment of journalists, and restrictive laws like the Public Order Act. Now, given these past actions, why should Zambians believe that the PF is now committed to upholding these democratic freedoms? Because, I mean, we are getting into into an election year soon. Also, you're vying for more seats back in the House. So, why should the people trust that now the Patriotic Front is ready to uphold democratic freedoms?
Yeah, first of all, we're very glad that UN, Human Rights Council Special Rapporteur came to Zambia. And don't believe the hype by government that she came on their invitation. She didn't come on their invitation. That's just a diplomatic term we use. You should remember that on August 29th, she issued a scathing report on the state of human rights in Zambia and human rights practices in Zambia. Government responded on October 4th and defended itself. It is in that report that has then necessitated an on-ground and on-site report. So the issue that government invited the special rapporteur is neither here nor there. The UN on its own generated this scathing report in August, and government responded. And the Human Rights Council is having its council meeting in April. They demanded that they needed this report on Zambia to be conclusive. Coming to Zambia is as a result of our earlier report in August. And the report is scathing. It doesn't matter how government is trying to celebrate it and put it like it was a good report. It's not a good report. It has cited government for human rights abuse. You all have that report. Her remarks about the PF were very shocking. First of all, the Patriotic Front as a government never received a special rapporteur on human rights and human rights practices or abuses. I remember that we've had 2 special rapporteurs, one, I think, in 2009 on gender matters, and the other one in 2014 on labor matters. We've never had one on human rights practices and human rights abuses. So, to her report that her remarks at State House, unfortunately, her remarks at State House are not in the official report that have been produced in Geneva. Probably they were just appealing remarks where she referred to a decade-old end to human rights abuses by the previous government. Those remarks are not founded anywhere. The Patriotic Front never received an adverse report from the UN the way this government had received a report like the one that was issued in August. We should make that very clear, because people have been celebrating that she said that it has marked the decade, of human rights abuses, and as if the UPND had a fresh start in 2021. That's not supported by facts. That's not supported by any report. Yes, there were human rights abuses of concern.
Mr. Mwamba,
Amnesty International
when we
and
talk,
Human Rights
Mr. Mwamba, just a second, as you continue, with the remarks given so far by the Special Rapporteur, we all read the statement and we did hear what she had to say. Even if you're saying it's not in the report, the comprehensive one expected in June, but these are things that she had said then on what was recorded before when we talk human rights violations and what we're seeing now. In as much as she said there's been an improvement, she did indicate that there's room for improvement, isn't it? That those are it's her statement was balanced, but what are you getting off where you say it's nothing to celebrate, because she did indicate where we're coming from, where we are now, and that we could be in a better place when we talk human rights violations, human rights altogether. So where are you getting off when you say that it shouldn't be something they celebrate on the other end, when there was a balance, there was indication of the past where we are now and where we could be if we acted better and upheld human rights?
I want to demonstrate that that the current status is not an improvement. It's actually far worse. That's why I was qualifying that there is no human rights or UN report on Zambia between 2011 and 2021, as damning as a report that she issued in August 2024. Similarly, her own report that she issued, that is on the UN Human Rights Council website, also doesn't talk about that improvement that she verbalized as status. I think those were PR remarks, maybe to please the president, but they are not in her report. She still stated that laws on criminal libel, seditious practices, insults, hate speech, and cyber crimes are being used to prosecute, to punish, and silence critical voices, and must be repealed or revised. This is a report that I'm reading, the one that is on the side. She also called for legal reform, that they are imperative. This is where she used the word crossroads, because this government has not bothered to improve on the state of human rights in Zambia. In fact, they've weaponized the laws, such as the laws on hate speech, on cyber crimes, and on seditious practices. So, like I was saying, even when the UPND are celebrating that it was a good report, they should read the report. They should ignore her remarks at State House. They are not in the official report. And I'm aware that when the council
Mr. Mwamba, is only coming out in June, Mr. Mwamba. Aren't you not preempting at this point? We don't know what is going to be in the conclusive report. You don't know what's going to be in the conclusive report. So how are you able to come up with these assumptions?
They are not assumptions. She issued a statement, an exit statement on 31st January 2025, and this is a preliminary report where she cited these very serious matters. You all have that statement. You can go to the website, and it's the one I'm looking at currently, and it's a scathing report. I suspect even the final report will be worse, because it will have taken into consideration all the submissions, both oral and written submissions. So we can't say we don't know what's in the report when we know what the preliminary report cites. And
here's something that was interesting in that, Mr. Mwamba. Let me hold you there. I'm going to just pull out a leaf of the words of Ms. Kant. I'm disgusted by the rising tide of disinformation and smear campaigns generated by politicians, including from the opposition, seeking to manipulate public opinion, heighten tensions, and create confusion. What this basically means, and from my small understanding, would be that you, as well in the opposition, are also part and tied to to the political unrest that we get to see in Zambia. So do you think you as politicians, you as opposition politicians as well, are upholding, moral right as you go about your campaigns, that you yourselves are not smearing propaganda?
Yeah, I'm surprised that her statement has been attributed to the opposition when she was saying, including the opposition. Remember what's on record. The Zambia Council of Catholic Bishops have demanded from President Hakainde Hichilema that he should close those social online media that he runs at State House, like Koswe and the others. It's on record that we demanded that President Hakainde Hichilema can no longer run guerrilla pages. He's no longer in opposition. He's now government. He cannot allow online newspapers run by State House media team to scandalize citizens in the manner that they've scandalized all of us. Fred Membe, the Archbishop of Lusaka, Edgar Lungu is a constant ridicule of insults from Koswe, which is a page run from State House. So the misinformation and disinformation first starts with State House, which is running these.
But don't you think that also some misinformation can be set up by those in opposition, again, to spearhead propaganda? This is also, again, to make sure that the current government or the current administration looks bad. I mean, it could be just the opposition politicking.
I don't publish anything anonymous. For me, let me speak for myself. Let me not speak for the opposition. Let me not speak for the opposition. Let me speak for myself and for the Patriotic Front. I run my own Facebook page. I'm traceable. It's verified by Facebook. If I was running any propaganda as alleged by the UPNG or anyone, that page would have been closed because it's a verified page by Facebook. So the standards are quite high. In the event that I've published something wrong, for example, when we published a video of an attack on President Lungu, which turned out to be an old video, I apologized because it was shared wrongly. I have not shied away to apologize if I think that I am wrong. However, I publish the truth in many times uncomfortable truth. If there's a medical evacuation at Maina Soko and they're trying to hide from you, the media, who are not bothered to follow up these matters, I will publish whether it pleases them, whether it doesn't. I publish material sometimes that attract threats of arrest by the police because they don't want us to say things that we say. That doesn't become propaganda. I published the material when the police went to Flavor FM and they were
how is it, Mr. Mwamba, when you publish these things and then the authorities, those stories that you are publishing, an example you just gave of the evacuation, we did see that the management had come out and said reason for that evacuation, which wasn't what you had stated. That is you spreading misinformation, that you put out wrong information and you're trying to come out like you had put out the truth. It wasn't the truth. Reason for the evacuation of Maina Soko was put out.
What did I put on Maina Soko? I said there is currently a medical evacuation and patients are strewn all over the car park. Was that a lie?
But there was an edited post.
And I urged you, the media, to go and find out what's happening at Maina Soko.
I'm just trying to find that post because I know, Mr. Mwamba, you have edited that post. Yes. You had changed whatever you had posted the first time was not what we are able to see today. So I'm just trying to get to your post to prove that you had edited that post.
Facebook, when you edit it will show that it was edited.
Yes.
It will show. I never edited. What I put up was that there is a medical evacuation. People have been removed. There is no alarm. There is no fire tender. There is nothing like that. They have been moved and they're in the car park. And one of the patients had speculated, are they bringing a VVIP? And I said that. One patient has speculated, if they remove that, bring a VVIP. So the medical evacuation took place. When I said President Hakainde Hichilema didn't appear at the phosphate plant where he was scheduled to. Did he appear? He didn't. The media were there. Some of our boys to carry him live were there.
But you as a leader, Mr. Mwamba, you as a leader should know that there are times when you put out a statement and you have a huge following, you're leaving it open for people to interpret whatever you're putting out. So there can be misinterpretation. It's what are you indicating in this moment where there's such rumors going on and you publish certain things. It's that you're trying to put a certain narrative. That's what is read of certain posts. So you as a leader, in the moment that you're putting out these things, yes, you might be saying you are saying the right thing, but you leave it so open for others to misinterpret. Doesn't that fall on you, the misinterpretation that your followers give?
Guys, we are journalists. They are developing stories. For example,
but it's not a developing story when it's coming from an ambassador, a man that has served in government. Mr. Mwamba, I think that's unfair to play your journalistic card when people know you more for a politician than a journalist. People will believe what or see to what you're saying as a politician, not as a journalist. So,
no,
a developing story?
What I've said is they are developing stories. When facts are emerging, the facts are not complete. They are emerging stories. And I can't put a full stop to a story that is developing. That's what I meant. So if a story is developing, you can't put a full stop to a matter that is developing. I speak authoritatively because of background of a journalist, and I recognize my stature as a political leader in my country. I'm even aspiring for presidency. So when I speak, I weigh all those things. And remember, I'm providing checks and balances. We have a government that is determined to hide the truth. And we have to put it to the corner that they tell the people the truth.
Now, Mr. Mwamba, let's shift this to you earlier on talking on laws and how, back to the statement by Ms. Khan when she was in the country, and how certain laws are still an infringement on human rights. You had put out, you mentioned seditious practices, which she mentioned in her report or in her statement also. But let's talk on how the current government has repealed the presidential defamation laws and enacted the access to information reforms that were long overdue under the Patriotic Front. With this having been long overdue under the Patriotic Front, and here you are today still talking of how there's not been any progress when we're talking human rights, but we do see that there's change that's being indicated, that even certain reforms that we have in around our laws. Isn't this something that you maybe should be commending, actually? Shouldn't you be supporting that we are seeing these changes so far under this new government?
So a trick was done. They removed criminal defamation of the president, but they removed the criminal libel, which the special rapporteur has called literally illegal because you're not supposed to criminalize speech. She has called on government to remove the criminal defamation completely. That is why citizens or journalists can still be taken to court. Even the officials like Clayson Amasaka, they can take you for criminal defamation. So although criminal defamation of the president has been removed, the actual law on criminal defamation remains on our statutes. Then they've weaponized the Cyber Security and Cyber Crimes Act of 2021 because therein there are issues of hate speech, insults, so literally the entire criminal defamation law that was of the president that was repealed has found its space in these old laws. And that's why I like the way she used that they've weaponized these existing laws again to achieve the same feeling fact of shutting up citizens. Today we've woken up to the sad story that a pastor, Duncan Simuchimba, who's always been an advocate for ordinary people, even for other pastors who were previously harassed. Today he's sitting in jail with 9 months. What was his crime? He spoke for the marketeers at Sokone who government wanted to demolish their market stores and market stands. And he demanded that government should not do that. They accused him of incitement, and now they've jailed him for 9 months. This government even has no shame. While the special rapporteur was still in the country, they were still arresting people on criminal defamation. You saw 2 boys that were arrested on the Copper Belt while the special rapporteur was in the country. They were still issuing threats of arrest to me while the special rapporteur was in the country. So this is a government that has no regard to human rights and human rights practices. It has no regard to issues of good governance. They are festering an autocracy. They are festering a dictatorship. And they want as many voices silenced as possible.
Right, Mr. Mwamba, thank you so much for joining us. But let's conclude on this. I know some people are looking forward to your return to Zambia. When are you going to be returning from America?
Yes, as you can see, my shoulder, I dislocated my shoulder 2 days before I could travel. I was playing what they call peekaboo. Peekaboo is a board game, like not a board game, a court game like tennis or like badminton. So somehow, I don't know, my shoelace came off as I was trying to hit back. I stepped on my shoelace and had a very heavy thud.
Be careful out there, Mr. Mwamba. With age comes fragility. With age comes being fragile. So please be careful out there.
So this one has delayed me, but I'm scheduled to return to Zambia on 3rd March 2025. I'm back in the next 1 month.
Right. Well, thank you so much, Ambassador Mwamba, there speaking to us. Of course, he is the Patriotic Front Chairman for Information and Publicity. Speaking into many issues, of course, clarifying on the health of the former president.
Good to know
Dr.
as well.
Edgar Lungu.
Yeah, we're glad as well.
Which is fantastic. I know you'll say again, on social media is not good, so that's why we had to put that to bed. And also speaking into the UN report, I feel he needs to come back. We'll wait for the 3rd of March. We'll wait for the 3rd of March. But
Probably
anyway.
invite him.
This is DJ Mutati exclusive.
Alright, that's all right for you today, lovely viewers. If you did enjoy the video, please don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about the video you just watched in the comment section below. I'll be super glad to hear from you, lovely viewers. Once again, I go by the name of Mutati Mpundu. I love you, peace, I gotta go.